So, Mr. Wolf, I know we were just talking about this, but I don't know if you've actually spent some time actually looking at what you're seeing on the screen here. And you can show me, and we'll show you what you've been messing around with in a minute. But as you can see, this is Halo, but with reshade / faux ray tracing. Yes, it is faux ray tracing because it's not real. Let's be honest. It's not calculated source ray tracing or path tracing. But as you can see, the effect is pretty interesting, right?
Gets the job
to the point
done.
Where, yes, it does. Yes, it does. It gets the job done to the point where if you're not careful, right, you need the overhead. Let's just be real. You need the overhead because this thing will smoke any machine. But man, like you see what it looks like right now, and then you see the shadows when you shoot bullets. They traverse. You can see them and like it is.
Yep,
something special. It is absolutely awesome.
And the little project that I've been working on is the Transformers War for Cybertron. All right,
okay. Let me pop that one up here.
Yeah, I mean, check this out. What these people are doing, right? With just this is PC, man, right here. Okay, you have, you know, and I fall under this umbrella, right? When this ABK Xbox deal went through, my mind started going crazy thinking about how they were going to bring back these Transformer games, remastered, whatever. Listen, man, there's a PC right here next to me. They already Thanos it. It's already there for you. You guys just have to look for it. Reshade Transformers, and trust me, guys, this is amazing.
To be fair,
no more port begging.
When we say no, this is not port begging. Calm down. When we say when we say we want a remake or a remaster, this is not what they're talking about. Because this is just upresing. This is anisotropic filtering. This is extra bells and whistles that were added post the game being created by the community, right? By various inspired community members. You add a reshade. There's a lot of computational things that are done on top.
It's amazing.
But to get this thing to run as righteous as it does, you're gonna need a lot of overhead. That's true. The game used to run at, you know, mid-tier specs or whatever. To get it to look like this and run like this, and the Halo one, you're talking 40 series card territory. Yeah. You're talking 32 to 64 gigs of RAM overhead just it's like for my Android users, it's like having Android on there and then a really thick skin on top of it. So it's really performant.
It is, but there are also mods like I've seen that, like for example, there's an FOV and a frame rate unlocker that you have to kind of use in tandem with this sucker. So I mean, I was able to get up to 90 frames in 4K. So, and I have a 4070.
Nice. There you go. Okay. Yeah, but your machine ain't no slouch. You know, you're doing things.
But for this particular game, right? But for Halo, obviously I haven't tried it with the ray tracing. So I don't know what I'll be able to even, get with that, because this doesn't include any ray tracing or anything like that. It's pretty much they've used all the shaders and all of the little tweaks and stuff.
Vibrant settings and all this.
Right. Yeah. The goal was to make it more up to date, like the G1 cartoons with the color palette, instead of the muddy, the muddy Gears of War look. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That these games had. And let me tell you, man, incredible work. This is hands down. This is probably going to be one of the first games that I play on my new OLED, which that we'll get into that in a little bit.
Interesting. Okay. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to welcome you to the playground, the Gamers Playground. It's been a minute since we've been here, but we're excited to be back and to have more gaming talks and PCMR type conversations for the people, as it were. And we thank all the folks who have been asking about us when we were away, those who are in the chat already, and those who've left messages. And I see you, BT Maverick. Before we even get started proper, I see the message from BT Maverick. I will read it, and then we will give it the time it deserves. Let me first and foremost put that on the screen. He gave 2 super chats. Unnecessary, good sir. We appreciate you. You could have just put the message in the chat. We would have dealt with it anyway, but we thank you that you did it in super chat form. He said, hey guys, any updates or any thoughts on the new Legion Go after hardware reviews have dropped last week? This is also before any official Lenovo drivers have dropped, but reviews have been pretty much so good so far, right? And outside of maybe some software updates that need to be that have negative, the takeaway is the speakers are down facing, and meaning they're bad, which means they're lessons learned of quality opposed to the DEC and the ROG Ally, right? So yes, we will talk at length about this device, because it definitely deserves a conversation. And on this show we are not going to shy away from talking about them handhelds. So yes. So salute to all the folks that are in here right now. Appreciate y'all for being here. Tell people we're here. Let people know that we're here talking about that great PC goodness. We'll talk about consoles too, because we're gamers here after all. We'll talk about all manners of things.
And Kay, let me just tell you.
You've done so. Yes, sir.
Let me just tell you, man. And this is the reason why I named today's show, when I sent you the thumbnail, Gamers Paradise. We're not living in gangsters paradise. We're living in gamers paradise right now, okay? Because the amount of games coming out back to back weeks and the devices, dude, we've never been in a renaissance like this before. This is amazing. Just all the bickering and all the petty stuff online, sometimes you just gotta just put it to the side for a week or two and enjoy what you got in front of you, man. And then you can go back and you can, do your thing.
Hey,
it's amazing.
I won't disagree with you, bro. I won't disagree with you. If I tell you what's on my playlist, if I tell you what I've been grinding through the past week, like, it's just nuts. I've been playing crazy amounts of games. But oddly enough, and we're not gonna go too far because I'm still early in it, but Alan Wake 2, Game of the Year.
No, you're calling it now. You're calling it. Wow.
Mark my words.
Wow.
Game of the Year.
Okay. So
and this is one of those rare instances where when it wins the Game of the Year at the Keighleys, I will say it's well deserved, which is rare for me to agree. But in this instance, it fits their genre, what they like to a T, and it's so good that even me, who hates scary games, I can't help but play it. But we'll get more into that a little later.
That's
nice. We don't want to spoil nothing.
No, that's nice, and I'm very excited to hear that from you, because I've heard obviously, like, how every single time that a big game released this year, all of a sudden everyone was like, "This is Game of the Year. This is Game of the Year."
It's ridiculous hyperbole. Yes, absolutely.
Right. But it's good to hear Remedy getting their much deserved flowers, man. And let me tell you something. I went back to play Alan Wake 1. I'm almost done with it because you know me, Kay. I don't know if it's my personality or what it is. I like to literally, if I'm gonna play something, Alan Wake 2, I wanted to go back and experience Alan Wake 1. Then I want to go through Control. Then I want.
What I will tell you is, unlike other games where you will do that, you will be uniquely compensated for doing what you're doing now.
Nice.
There are reasons, which I will not tell you, but if you have the opportunity to drink deep of all things Remedy before you play this game, it'll only benefit you.
And Max Payne, and for me, my love for Remedy starts at Max Payne. Those were literally Max Payne 1 and 2, and not to mention 3, because I know 3 was developed by Rockstar.
3's amazing. Oh,
but
God,
3 was
also amazing.
3 was Rockstar, but that's top tier for me, top 10 of all time for me.
Yeah.
But 1 and 2, while not being top 10, are still in my gaming heart, because those games, they were amazing. They were like graphic novels in motion, is what they were.
So I guess my question to you then, sir, is how much experience or history or knowledge do you have of Alan Wake 2? Do you know anything about it?
I haven't seen any
Not
reviews.
A single thing?
I haven't seen nothing, because I want to go in cold. Now, I've seen...
God, you are going to lose your effing mind.
For example, like I did see the that trailer that they gave in the Summerfest, the Keighleys, that he came out and he showed it. I did see that trailer, and then in the Xbox event that they just recently had, I shut it off because I didn't want to see anything. And then while you were talking about it on your show on Saturday, I cut it off. I'm like, bye, Kay, I'll see you later. And then I came back later to finish up the show.
I'm sorry. No,
it's cool.
I know.
It's cool. It's on me because I kind of want to go through the experience. But
brother,
with that said,
yes, sir.
The Assassin's Creed project for the rest of the year, Kay, is officially on hold because there's just we'll start that again up in 2024. Too many games. And in the meantime, I'll still be playing Odyssey to get. I'm almost done with it, but the Assassin's Creed project needs to be put on hold because Kay, if we're gonna have a game of the year show, I got a lot of catching up to do, and I want to give all these games the just time, to say, hey, this is why I picked this game.
My words, and this is coming from a dude who's rounding around 10 days in Starfield, and I still haven't finished playing it. Why? Because I'm at the last level and I keep going back to get other things. I love that game. To me, that game is a generation. It touches me somewhere deep.
Pause.
But even with that, and I don't like scary games. Mark my words, Alan Wake 2, game of the year. Put a pin in that. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome, as I've said. This episode will be a very unique and a special one because myself and John Wolf hadn't had a chance to chat. Work has been killing us. We
got drowning so much in all to catch up on, man. So much.
So we decided, you know what? 2 weeks ago, we did this kind of show and tell format, and it actually came out pretty cool, and we liked it, and we thought it was really interesting. So we thought we'd do that time again, but this time, this is a little different because fall is falling. If you're in America, some of the time zones have changed, right? It's not as hot as it used to be, even in America's armpit, which that's Florida. I live here, so you got to get the slant. Even here, you need the jacket at this point.
They don't call me Latino Heat for nothing, okay?
He's Latino heated because it's hot. But no, this week we want to talk about some gift ideas because fall is here. You got a Black Friday, and let's not even talk about why they call it Black Friday. That's a whole different conversation.
Oh, you got Big
Cloud.
Right
around the corner.
Hold on. You got Big Cloud.
Oh, there he goes.
Is the game of the year, sir?
Ooh,
up, Big Cloud?
You know, Big Cloud. I don't disagree with you because everyone, and I've played my fair share of Lies of P. Everyone that has played it, and I know some who have played it, who played it multiple times. They've gone around twice.
Yep.
Mark my words. Alan Wake 2, game of the year. Mark it.
I'm wondering
on the solitary channel.
I'll be surprised if Big Cloud hasn't played Alan Wake 2 because Big Cloud is a beast, dude. And
he's a beast. He marks those games. Absolutely. I mean, look, and maybe this is my techie brain talking, but I've never seen a game. Well, up until now, we haven't seen a game doing what this game is doing. And I can't talk about it because you don't want to be spoiled, and I don't want to spoil anything for you, whether tech or not. I want you to experience it fresh, going in as you wanted it to be, right? So I don't want to tell you how the graphics will blow your freaking wig back. I don't want to tell you all the ins and outs of said situation. So I will leave you to experience that yourself. But you heard me talk about Elephant Tusk Mario. You heard me talk about all of the crazy games. I am a huge fan of Spider-Man 2. Like if you watch the Gaming Circle podcast, you saw we had a big rundown of all the various games that we think are on the games of the year. But I will say, Alan Wake 2, game of the year. Clip it.
And I also heard Paris say that we should put Sonic there so that we can discuss why it doesn't deserve to be game of the year. Which was kind of messed up, okay? But we're just gonna leave that there.
He's just going for that smoke and slander. I hear you.
Hey, look, before we move on, man, and I know I already touched up on this a little bit, but again, I just the sheer excitement and appreciation that I had this week, especially this weekend, coming off of the projects that I've been working here at home, dude, I literally sat back and I was looking through my library, setting things up and kind of planning out, okay, how am I going to test out my new OLED and all that stuff? Hey, it was so overwhelming to even choose which game should I fire up first because there's just so much to play. And the thing is that you don't like. I don't want to get in the bad habit that I've been getting into, which is I start something and then I start something else and then I start something else and then I start something else. And then I never finish the game that I originally started on. I don't want to do that no more. That's a New Year's resolution for myself going in.
You want to finish what you start.
I want to finish what I start, and next year focus on playing a game at a time and then the Assassin's Creed project, because it's too much, brother. I'm going crazy here.
Let me ask you 2 questions. Question 1, when do you think you'll get to Alan Wake 2?
That is on the docket. Definitely. I want to say by this weekend, probably.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't care what game you play, and I want you, I'm putting this on digital ink. I want people to hear me say this so you can come back and tell me I'm wrong. I don't care what game you play first. Alan Wake 2, the best game to be played on an OLED. You will lose your effing mind after you see that. The black levels are insane. Like,
and here's another thing.
Black, but as long as you have an OLED, you see it all. It's amazing.
And dude, when you couple that with let me go into the little project real fast, okay? Because this is what I was excited. And guys, this is the Gamers Playground. Where I created a playground inside my house, okay?
So there you go. Show me what you got.
So as you know, well, I can't show you because as you see, this is the virtual background here, but I can describe it. So as you know, in my living room setup, I wanted to have the Asus ROG Ally with the GPU coupled because I wanted that PC experience in the living room. Okay. I also got myself, have you heard of the Govee G1 Pro lights? Have you heard of those?
I do have a Govee. I have a Govee myself. Yes.
Okay, and the Govee, for anyone that doesn't know in the chat, they're these lights that you put in the back of your monitors or your TVs or your setups.
Adaptive LEDs that adapt to your screen. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so that is calibrated perfect to the T. Took me a day to do it because I wanted when it's green on the right-hand side, I needed it to be green there. There cannot be any bleed because my OCD was getting to me, okay?
I get it.
I moved on to the OLED project, the computer setup project. Brought the PS5 over, the Xbox Series X over. So now I have the whole gaming setup here with the new OLED, which I got, which is the Asus 42-inch P34. I don't know. I'll link it. We'll link it in the bottom for the good folks. Okay, this thing is amazing. Okay, HDMI 2.1, 4K.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
How
many frames?
Up to 138 overclocked. Okay, you can overclock it. This thing is a beast, guys. Okay, and Kay, you know that since we started the show 17 episodes back, I've been an advocate for 1440p. You know that.
True.
Okay. But once you got that 4K, you start dialing in the little switches, and you start saying, "Wait a minute," because I've been trying out games, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, I didn't know I can get, for example, Let me see which game I tried today. This last game that came out that it was scary during last holidays. That they basically got rid of everyone on the team. Callisto Protocol.
Oh, Callisto Protocol.
Okay?
Yeah.
I haven't finished the game. I'm almost done with it. But fired up Callisto on it. I'm like, my 4070. I don't know if really in 4K 60 I'm gonna be able to even get to 4K 60, whatever. 4K 90, dude, with the AMD. Solution. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing, dude. Okay. This is like a brand new toy for me right now. Okay. So excited. Couple with the lights. I got a whole thing going on here. Anytime that my wife turns on the lights, turn it off.
He's living his best PCMR life right now. This is amazing.
Oh my God, dude. I'm literally in gamers paradise right now, guys. And
I hear you.
This is amazing. Okay. Going between consoles, PCs, gaming anywhere you want, all these games coming out. What is there to complain about, Kay? You tell me.
Well, there is the fact that there's like Call of Duty screen and then you have to press a button. No, sorry, just kidding. Let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Let's move on. Because we want to do a bit more show and tell this time. We thought, you know what? This should be an opportunity that we will use to potentially share some gift ideas that we're stuff that we're working on. I'll share some stuff I'm working on. Potentially, John can tell us the stuff he's working on now. This is gift ideas for our families. We're being a little I'm being a little selfish. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm getting for my family, right? And if you guys have any interesting ideas, you can share it as well. Some of them are cost effective. To me, it's always more about the DIY spirit than it is about, hey, I bought you this big thing. Last year or 2 years ago, I bought my wife an M1 Mac for her work, right?
Nice.
And it costs money and all that, and it's for her job and it works. But that's not what it's about. It's about interesting, cool, funky stuff that you might find that nobody else can really do. So let's start this off. And I'm testing out something new and interesting. So
and
you people.
And pro tip here. I know what you guys are thinking. Wait a minute. It's November 6th and Kay's already talking about the holidays. Is he kind of like these stores where they put out the Christmas trees in October? No, it's not about that. If you think about it, the earlier you start, guys, the better it is that you don't have to wait last minute. Because that's
indeed.
Last minute shopping sucks.
Indeed, it does. So let me share with you all what I've been working on. And to do so, we now have visual aids. Looky. Ain't that cool? So
we're upgrading.
Yes, for my son, who is now addicted to Mario Wonder. I can't get him away from Mario Wonder. Now, why do I bring up this troglodyte game on a PC show? Because he just kept stealing my Windows handheld to play it, so I had to give him his own. And I don't want to give him the Switch because the Switch, it's a little bit flimsy. My child does crazy things with
it. Where's Mr. Joanna Dark? Where's Mr. Joanna Dark? Here we go. Here comes a comment.
So for this is a cool little device I was able to get for my son.
I've seen this before.
You've seen this before?
Yes.
Now they have a more expensive variant that another company makes. This is like under $20.
Oh, okay. No, I thought it was the other one.
No, it's not the Nitro. It's not the Nitro one. No. This one is I've had this way before the Nitro one. Right? Okay. It's like a backbone, if you will, but it's for a Switch. And literally, it's if you are sick and tired of the teeny tiny Switch with the small baby hands, now you can actually take the Joy-Cons off the little baby thing and make it a grown man Switch, as it were. Nice. Right? You plug it in. It sees the controller as a pro controller, and bam, there you is. Screen on, you're playing your games.
Nice.
And it feels great in the hand. It plays great.
Talk to me about the ergonomics. It's like holding a real controller, like holding a pro controller.
It's literally a Switch. It's literally an Xbox controller, basically cut in half.
There you go.
Right, and it's got the hard back, so it's really really stable. Like my kid loves it. I had a version of this, and she's like, oh yeah, he wanted to try it. So, this will be a Christmas present, right? So
nice.
Take the Switch off, and put that on there, and you have, and it also has batteries. It comes with a battery pack on either side, so it gives you extra battery, or it actually charges the Switch for you, or you can charge with the Switch with it, so it back and forth, whichever one's strongest. It's quite good. It's barely costs you anything, and it really gives you new life on your Switch.
And does it have Rumble and all that and all the works?
All that Rumble, like the whole thing. You press the power button, it turns on. It's great. And the Rumble's stronger than the actual Switch itself. It's quite good.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. That's good for any Switch owners. Mr. Joanna Dark should get this so that he can actually play the thing comfortably.
So if anybody wants to play the actual Abacus, here you go. You can play the actual Abacus, and then you can leave the real devices to the men. Yes. All right.
What about, you got something else there for the wife? Any ideas there?
Yeah. Sure. Actually, for wifey.
Oh, there it is. Right on cue.
There he is. Cue. Look at the Switch, he says. Yeah, of course. Stop hating. Thank you. This was for you, sir.
Yeah, he was talking about this controller add-on, okay?
Yes. So let's see. So another idea that I had for my wife, right? And this one is really interesting. My wife is not a gamer. She doesn't play games too much, but we love music. Those who don't know, I was a musician in a former life. I play a bunch of instruments. I have pianos and things in the house. So my kid, I've been trying to teach them various instruments for quite some time. And as lessons get expensive, or you can try different various methods to teach them. I want to teach them how to play like piano, right? Mm-hmm. came across what I have to say, probably the best piano teaching tool like ever.
Really?
Like ever. I've never, and I'm looking it up while I do this so I can hopefully show you some visuals. Like it is the most insane thing I have ever seen. It's just so good. And it's, believe it or not, on.
Oh, okay.
The Quest 2.
Okay.
Now, I know a lot of people have heard about the Quest 2 and ooh, it's interesting and it could do this, it could do that. There's a piece of software called Piano Vision. Have you heard of this thing?
No, never.
Okay. I will see if I can find a version. Actually, here we go. Let me share this. If I can do so. Hold on 1 second here. Let me.
So you actually play the piano in VR. That's
it's not just play the piano in VR. You have to see it. It's actually quite something. It's quite something. Basically, since VR, well, since the Quest 3 can now do pass through really well. So it's not VR, it's more AR, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's like you can see like your hands, you can see the world, right? While you're in VR, you can see the world, right? And it knows that you can see the world. And if you have a MIDI keyboard, you can plug the MIDI keyboard into this device, the headset, and it looks like this.
Oh, that's
your really cool. Real keyboard.
Wow.
And and when you're playing it, it's in your ears. And it'll tell you, okay, finger 3, finger 2, because you're playing with different fingers, right? And it literally teaches you, slows down and teaches you how to do this. And it looks just like this. And it look however way you want it to look, because it will show you your living room on your keyboard while you're playing it. And then it shows you the digital. It is the coolest, the most interesting thing I have ever seen. This is how VR gets done. This is it. This is literally and
literally Piano Hero is what we're looking at right here.
Yes,
but it actually teaches you.
It's amazing, bro. I have never. It is so, and of course, what they're showing you is how you set it up, because every keyboard is different. So you can, how many keys are on the keyboard, and you pick your songs. I can't wait until they have a subscription so I can buy the sub, so they can give me new songs, so I can learn. Man, this device, this thing alone justifies the Quest.
That's
just
awesome.
This alone. It really is cool. So good.
Let me ask you a question though. Do you need to actually have a piano in front of you, or the piano is AR?
So you have choices, and that's another reason why I love it so much. If you are a person who happens to have a MIDI keyboard, which I am, you can plug the MIDI on one side, USB-C on the other side, plug into the headset, and it literally hears. Yes, there you go. Grumpy Shaman knows what I'm talking about. It's like a Rocksmith. I don't know if you've ever heard Rocksmith.
Yeah, Rocksmith was awesome with the guitar.
Very good Ubisoft situation. Yeah, they went too far with all the crazy subs and whatnot. But at its core, it's a great guitar teacher.
Yeah,
this is exactly that. This is exactly that. And it's just so easy to pick up. Anybody can do it. You press the button, it responds. To your point about the keyboard, if you don't have one, you can put a virtual keyboard, literally nothing, and you're typing and it's playing. That's right? Cool. Or if you have one of these, you plug it in and anything, as long as it's got a MIDI port, you plug it in, $10 cable, and you're off to the races.
I can see why you're so excited about it, because I mean, being having like a musician background, this is like tools that we only dreamt about, because I know that in my younger years, like in my teens, in high school and stuff, I got really into guitar. I was, into all the heavy metal bands and all that stuff, and I would actually learn how to play the songs, by watching the music videos.
Listen.
Yes, they actually had music videos, but when we were young, remember those, Kay? Remember those? And like, for example,
in my day, I had to buy the music before I used to listen to it.
Dude, I remember, for example, like watching Metallica on MTV, and then paying, like recording it on a VHS, and then stopping it. Rewind, play to try to see the finger placement and all that. Okay,
that's right,
and that's amazing, dude. This is stuff that we only dreamt about.
See, and that is a big reason for my excitement, how far we've come. That's one. And two, I'm super excited because, like, for those who what is VR or what is AR? These are just toys. These are tools that can literally teach you a trade.
That's amazing.
And it's not a gimmick. It's proper good. Like, take it from a guy who's playing music all his life. This is the best teacher I have ever come across. It's freaking amazing.
Like our favorite stuff, guys, that we're like almost 20 shows in that you've seen is that we really like real use things when it comes to gaming. So for example, like Kate just said, this will actually show you how to play piano, and it's so freaking cool. And it's a game and it's interactive, and that's awesome. I got 3 comments real fast, Kate, that I want to go through because I saw them while you were talking.
Please,
Grumpy says that Rocksmith Plus has a new piano mode. That's
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
To BT Maverick says that Alan Wake 2 with headphones on in the dark, simply amazing. In a game of great year, in a year of great games, it's his game of the year as well. That speaks volumes. Okay, and then of course we got Mr. Joanna Dark. I use Labo to make a piano. What do you think about that, Kay? What do you think about his Labo? You think it holds can he hold a candle to this or what?
Well, he could use Labo if he wants to use Labo, and that's fine. But this is some real stuff right here. I'm telling you,
sorry.
this is no. I put it away on purpose. This is next level stuff, and I think it's super impressive. And people should, if nothing else, like there will be use cases. You know how for a long time VR was like the place for Beat Saber.
Yeah.
Now you can say VR is the place to learn to play a piano.
Yeah.
And they're adding more stuff to it like that. It's very cool. So,
that's another thing. That's another thing I want to do before the end of the year, because when 2024 comes around, okay, I know that you're going to invest a lot of time into your VR experiences, and so am I with the PSVR 2. I want us to have at least one show dedicated to any games that we played throughout the holiday and stuff like that of VR, so that we can make some good recommendations, because I got a feeling that a lot of people are going to get that either headset for Christmas. I don't know about the PSVR 2 so much, but for sure, but at least the Quest 3.
Here's my question to you, sir.
What's up?
Do you have any VR headsets that connect to a PC currently in your possession?
I do not. No. I got rid of my Quest 2, and then
you did,
I got the PSVR 2.
If you did, I was gonna tell you there's an opportunity for us to possibly host a whole show in VR.
Oh, that would be cool. Can I use Labo or?
you probably can use Labo instead of PSVR 2 because that thing's locked down. Anyway. But okay, so while I'm showing the stuff we're doing here, let me continue down the path, and then we'll switch it up on you. So for my daughter, who is really big, like the only requirement is Minecraft. It must play Minecraft. It must be about Minecraft. It's Minecraft all day. Minecraft. She's turning 7 on the 31st of December. So where her birthday, Christmas, all that, it's very, very close. So I figured, hey, let me get her something. And she's turning 7, got a TV, putting it in her room. And what we'll be building her is this guy. And I'm totally want to let people know what this is. And of course,
see where we're going
the color,
here.
The color is a little skewed. But you'll see it.
Here.
It's a little purple, pink situation.
I love
with the keyboard also included, purple, pink situation. And what is this? This, ladies and gentlemen, is a mini PC. It's not the Nook. I see you in there, Floodzilla. Thank you for being here, good sir. The Nook would set you back some. This is my daughter. She's 7. She doesn't need that much. So this is, what is it, $120?
Oh, that's awesome.
And for $120, you get it's a new-ish, like almost Atom kind of processor from Intel. So like to give you a ballpark idea of what it can do, like it comes with Windows 11 built in, runs smooth as butter. It's already configured, ready to go, right? In here you got your Wi-Fi, you got your Ethernet, it can do two HDMI's. It's got your USB, what do you call it? USB 3s, right? Easy to get access to the bottoms. You can literally just take it apart and then add extra storage if you so choose, add extra memory if you so choose, right? It from an emulation perspective, if that helps you, it'll go up to light PS3.
Doobie says to keep it down just in case she's.
She ain't hear me. She's asleep. Don't worry.
Okay. We good. Doobie. Good looking out though.
Yeah, light PS3 and anything underneath it plays Minecraft like butter.
There you go.
Right, absolutely like butter. Planning on putting SteamOS on the baby.
Nice. Okay.
Booted up, front end, real nice. Keyboard, mouse if she needs it, and an Xbox controller. And then
you gotta get which you gotta get the pink one, of course.
Which of course you gotta get. She's all about the pink life these days. Of course. Yes, this is for my daughter. You know.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome, man. Cool. And you're showing her the PCMR way, which is, that's what this show's all about.
And I really like this thing because it does excellent emulation and it's cheap as dirt. It's really cheap. You can pick it up and I mean, obviously all 2D games, no problem. And this even plays Minecraft, 60 frames, no issues. You ain't playing monster games on this thing. You ain't playing, go ahead and try playing Cyberpunk. I dare you. Good luck.
I mean, it's not for that. It's not for that. So
exactly.
It's still a nice little option, especially as a starter PC. Mm-hmm. Now, the only thing I'm going to tell you is that I think that you just started a little rivalry between your son and daughter there, because your son's going to be like, "How come you're giving me this, old Switch?"
Well, she's got a whole PC. Is 4. My son is 4. Okay. Well, but see, here's the thing. Here's the funny thing, right? My son is 4, and he is the king of platformers. Like,
oh, nice.
He will smoke you in any Mario game. He will build a Mario Maker level, beat it before you even are halfway in. That is my 4-year-old son, right? And then my daughter will smoke you at Mario Kart because that's her thing.
Yeah, my wife.
Then she plays Minecraft, all the time. So. They each like their own thing, and I'm trying my best to kind of nurture and push. They love building things and stuff, so
that's a great project for you and her to work on, and more importantly, PCMR way. She'll soon be looking at everyone else when they're talking about consoles in her school and being like, guys, I got my own PC. I don't need that stuff.
So I have one more thing to show, and it's cheap. It's not fair, but I gotta do it, and I gotta show love.
What do you mean it's not fair?
I'll explain when you see it. It's not fair because no one can easily get their hands on it. But salute to the boss, the great people at Xbox Era.
Oh yeah, that is pretty badass. Let me tell you,
for giving Papa his gift.
That's nice.
You will not be able to get your hands on one because it was a Kickstarter, and boy, even getting these out was difficult. I've been talking to them in the background. They have been pulling blood from a stone to get these things done.
Wow.
But it is done, and it is glorious in all ways possible, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, you know that I love custom books and stuff like that when I did my own and all that with my comics. These little projects like this. Not only are they just pieces of art, but at the same time, they're literally a labor of love. Because I can only imagine the time spent by the Xbox Era guys to work on this thing. Years.
Absolutely. Okay? So now my only bit of salt is
super
at
happy.
The time this was made,
jealous, but super happy.
At the time this was made, I was not able to get into the community section.
Oh, I
wish I could get into. I see the man Randall Thor 19 in there. I see the man.
MVP,
it's cool. Yeah, it's a who's who. It's cool. So I wish I could have gotten in there. Yeah,
it's cool. Well, what you can do is you can buy you can print yourself a little sticker and then stick it on with your face on it. And you got the updated version. You can put the Gamers Playground up in there. That's awesome, dude. That is awesome.
But yes, and Jeffrey Grubb is in here when his main was full. He's lost his powers now that his main is gone.
Man, Lucius, what's up, Lucius? Always here, man. Nice to have you here, brother.
Yes, appreciate you here, man. So yes, this is my hedge. This is my last one. This is for Dad. You can't get it. I'm sorry. You should have ordered it many years ago. When
this isn't a gift idea. It's just you bragging about the book.
No. This is Daddy buying a golf. This is what is it when Fred Flintstone buys his wife a bowling ball? That's what this is, right?
There you go. Well, so, yes. it was the Mrs. Birthday, and we got that new iPhone 15 Pro in the house. Still haven't tried out Resident Evil 8. Okay.
So in other words, you're able to make phone calls, is what you're saying. Because if you tried out Resident Evil 8, it'd be dead in 5 minutes. But that's neither here nor there. Continue, sir. Yes.
But in all jokes aside,
it's quite good.
I've seen reviews. It's
quite good.
It's pretty good. So we gotta, obviously we can't automatically assume that Apple is going to take over whatever, but we need to keep our eyes on what they're doing, because as more games come out, if they can get more developers on board, it's going to be interesting going forward how we got to navigate these waters with Apple in the conversation. That's all I'll say.
Don't start on the path of Lucius Augustus and talk about the Apple, like war coming and they're gonna come and take over. Get out of here. They've had solid hardware for years.
They're trying to sneak in, K.
No one can.
I'm with you. I'm with you because I don't. All right. I'm not gonna go out there and buy one. But what I'm saying is that from the looking at it from the from the industry perspective, brother, it looks like they're trying to sneak in. Okay, and they're doing
don't
it
get me
strategically.
Wrong. You're right. I'm not saying they're not trying to sneak in. You're absolutely right. But just like the Series S, just because you make really cool features, people got to use it first before they realize it exists. And if they don't use it, they pretend it doesn't even exist.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. No, agreed.
Apple can pay onesie twosies to use their hardware, but by and large, until the sea change and everybody starts looking at it like an actual platform, we shall see.
I think that their selling point, obviously, to these developers is that, hey, there's no other company out there that has more devices in the hands of more people than us, right? So how about,
which is technically not true, but continue.
Yeah, but
because there are more Windows devices than Apple devices. But okay, continue.
No, I mean that's true, but I mean on the go, from a phone perspective.
Yes,
okay.
Mobile is the move.
Mobile perspective, right? So
Android's bigger too, but okay, continue.
But here's where their challenge is that we talked about this day, and I don't want to steer this into an Apple conversation, but
of course,
I'll just say this, that their biggest hurdles are these. Number one, are you bringing out games day and date? That's number one. Number two, how can you get your consumers used to paying $60 or $70 for said game? Those are the two hurdles that they have to kind of jump here. Will they be able to do it? I don't know. Time will tell, but it's still an interesting future.
Lucius coming with some tinfoil hats, baby. Ooh, he's like, they're probably gonna buy Sony. Oh boy. I mean, if that were to happen, that would be interesting times.
When would be the time though? When would be the time? Because right now they're kind of scrambling to come up with a game plan here. It looks like excuse me, it looks like they're the champs, but the champ's looking kind of weak right now, man. So,
little groggy. We shall see.
Groggy. Right. He got decked.
Your turn, sir. How about you share with the people what you have for some gift ideas you think people might enjoy with this holiday season? What can we go out on Black Friday and potentially get our hands on this
very
season?
Simple. Two devices that I think if you have me like UK, I have to think about like my immediate family. And I thought about, I kind of already set this up for my mom, and she's having a ball with it, and that's the Govee ambient lighting set. Anyone that you go to, any product, because I fell into a deep rabbit hole of looking up Govee products for ambient lighting and stuff like that. What I love about the Govee ecosystem, number one, is that compared to Philips, to the Hue line, way cheaper. Okay, way cheaper. And the quality is really, really good. Okay, Govee has stepped it up when it comes to quality assurance and stuff like that. Yeah. Any type of Govee products that you guys want to go with, just to set the mood in somebody's house or something like that, I think that they will get a kick out of it, because my mom was loving the fact that while she was watching the Avatar trailer, all the colors, were following and stuff. She was having a ball with it. For your kids, of course, you can't go wrong. I know what I'm getting my daughter 100%. You got to get them those Robux, man. Okay? Those Robux, brother, because she's a Roblox player. She is so obsessed with Roblox that you will straight up ask her, hey, do you prefer a Barbie or a Robux gift card? And she says, give me the bucks. Okay? Because that game it's almost scary how it's kind of predatory. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you in the way that they've set this up. My daughter's obsessed, and they'll come out with updates and different games and stuff that she wants to change the outfits and new things and new that. But I've taken it as a tool to kind of like a teaching tool to say, honey, you see that these things cost money. You see that you need to kind of balance yourself out. If you buy this and that, how much will you have left over? So you can use Roblox as a learning tool. Okay. And now for a device, all right. For anyone that has a PC in their house, let me show you this controller that I've been messing around with for the last week. Okay. This is from a company called Big One. Okay. This right here, this controller, guys, you give this to any PC owner in the house, they're gonna love you because this is gonna be their go-to every single day. Okay, you got buttons on the side here. Okay, you got 2 unique buttons here. It looks just like an Xbox controller. Okay, the D-pad is phenomenal. There you go, same company right there.
Yeah, this one's the Switch Pro variant.
That's the Switch Pro variant, which got great reviews. I got the dock right here, and this thing is so cool because just like yours, you know how yours lights up. Check this out.
Nope.
Let's turn this on real fast. Check that out.
Oh yeah, there you go. No, very cool.
You could, and like for example, when you're like, I've set it up to where if I'm doing Switch emulation, it'll turn red, Xbox gaming green, etc., because I'm a nerd that way.
And yes, Floodzilla, you're right. Hall effect sensors and sticks.
Yep.
Triggers and thumbsticks as well. Like smooth, and they have they don't have membrane triggers. They have a switch triggers, which, to be clear, takes some getting used to. Not everybody's down with that. What does that mean? I don't know if my mic will pick it up because it likes to diffuse noise, but click, 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 click. Everything is a teeny tiny click.
It's like a mouse click.
Everything. It's like a mouse click. Everything sounds like a mouse click.
It's a tactile click, which if you think about it, in a shooter game,
this thing, even the pointers have it. Like it takes some getting used to. It's very unusual when you're used to what you're used to, and you get this. It took me a while to get used to the clicky of everything.
But tell me it doesn't feel good though. Once you get used to it.
When you get used to it, is pinpoint precise. Like all the extra like settings you get, like you can go hard on this thing. And by the way, yes, it's the Switch Pro variant, but all their controllers work on a console and also PC. So it's the Switch Pro variant, but it's also the PC version. So you can use this on the PC.
I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it on the Xbox, especially since they brought out that newest update that that they kind of went away from third-party stuff.
Yeah.
But there are companies out there already saying there's a company called Brooks that they make adapters that they're already said, don't worry about it, guys. We got this. So it looks like they're going to be able to figure out a workaround. Okay.
So there you go. All right. So that's you.
Some buying guides there. And of course, you can't go wrong. The last thing I'll say, Kay, that I found really, really cool. Have you ever visited the Xbox store app, the Xbox store where they sell clothing?
Oh yeah. I buy a lot of clothes there. I've bought some things there in the past. Yeah, very cool.
They said that they're gonna have a sale coming up real soon towards Black Friday. So keep your eyes on that because gamer shirts. I got my Call of Duty hats. I love my Call of Duty hats. I'm gonna be looking out for some Halo hats, stuff like that. So be on the lookout, guys.
Very cool. Okay. See, now of course, this is all well and good. But I guess you once again you'll ask, hey, well, what about games, right? You play a bunch of games, how do you give people games? What are the best game giving guides and whatnot? And to that, I will say once again, we've brought this up before in the past, but I'll bring it up again, which is that you should be using deals.gg to find games that you think are cool.
That's actually my landing page every day when I turn on my web browser because I want to see what's coming up and if there's any sales.
That's right. Now, what I do to my gamer friends, if you're a Steam guy or you're on that, or you're in Steam and that's where you mainly play your games, let me share another cool tip that I've been using, and some people seem to like it. which is, you know how when you go on a trip, I mean not a trip, when you give someone a gift, and it's usually like have you ever given somebody a gift of like, let me think, scratch tickets or something like that?
Yeah, like a lotto, like a scratch off lotto,
like a scratch off lotto thing. Either it could be really cool, or it could be, you know, something that ends up not really materializing into anything. But at least it gives them a chance, right? This is the same idea, but in game form. Now, this is on G2A, and I come here anytime I need to give somebody a gift, right? And I come here and I choose, and they give you different price points. What are they? You don't know what they are. It could be the greatest game ever, or it could be hot garbage, right? Here's $2.28 for 10 random global keys. What are they for?
Oh my God, Kate!
You know what? Cool things out of that before.
Listen, it sounds like a cool idea, but can you imagine all of a sudden you give this to your boss or to a co-worker?
Do that?
And hold on a second, and all of a sudden, you know, they plug in the codes, and it's those hentai games and those naughty games. And then they come in, hey, Kate, thanks for the gift, man. Appreciate it.
Terrible. Obviously, you can kind of see what the code is after you purchase them, but basically these are loot boxes in the form of game codes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, and sometimes, and you know, if you want something that you would most likely consider to be cool, they won't tell you what they are, but they'll segregate them in an interesting way. See, random elite codes, which means the games are probably a bit more, you know, substantial than your indie fare or something like that. And it's $10. You buy it, you test it out, and by and large, you can go to forums where they'll say, "Hey, I bought it and I got this, and that," and the other person got this.
That's pretty cool.
Really cool, interesting.
Now,
you never know.
Imagine buying it and you get like a cool game that you don't have in your library. And you're like, "Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna have to keep this one. I'll give you another code."
Exactly. You know,
that's so cool.
So I'll give you this one. I'll give you 3. So this is the first one, right? Try it out. You have a friend, you don't know it. You like your friend, but you don't like him enough to pay $10. Pay $5 and get him 5 codes. Maybe one of them is worth a $20 game.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if one of those games in there becomes literally the person's favorite game of all time? How cool that would be.
Yeah,
you never know.
Look, I have 500 plus games in my Steam library. This is how I got there. Well, it's more between this and my next one. Which is, if you are a gamer of any stripes, if you've been on Steam for any length of time, this is common knowledge to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Humble
Bundle. They are a shell of their former self. They used to be far more prolific, I think, but they're still pretty damn good. So, like right now, and for those who don't know, Humble Bundle for a long time used to be an organization that would talk to a bunch of game publishers, right? Get them to give for free their codes, right, to Humble Bundle. Humble will then put them together, give you like a bundle, pay what you want, X amount of, and put a bunch of codes in it, and then all the money and all the proceeds are split to various charities.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep, that's how I got to know them.
What they keep doing, and it's still something they do at what they do to this day. Now, to be fair, to be clear, it has been purchased by the subsidiary that owns IGN, and ever since they did that, they're not as prolific, we'll say, in their philanthropy as they used to be. But still, when you go in here, they still have pretty decent stuff. So this week,
do they bundle any games that they give force to, or they don't? I'm just saying, man. Just asking the questions. I'm just asking the questions, man.
This week they have the IGN Editor's Choice 9 and above club.
Nice.
So it's funny you mentioned that.
All PlayStation games.
It's all slander, but this is 9 and above. These are all games that scored 9 and above on IGN.
Oh, that's really good.
You can pay, let's see, at least $16, and you get all of them. And I'm talking awesome. Disco Elysium, top 10 stuff. Especially if you have handheld, this game is brilliant. Oh my God, it's so good, right? Chivalry 2, everybody knows about Chivalry. It's a really great multiplayer game.
I saw the Iron Lords playing that. They were having a great time. I haven't played it myself.
Yeah, it's a really, really fun game with a group. Forbidden City is the Forbidden City is I guess
Forgotten or Forbidden?
Skyrim, Forgotten. I'm sorry, Forgotten City. It was a mod for Skyrim way back in the day, and it got so good and so intricate that they built into a made up game. Yes,
I didn't know
there's a mod for Skyrim. Yes. So see, and what I say that this is a shell of their former self. Back in the day, you'd get a list like this, and it'd be like 30 games deep. It'd be a ridiculous level amount of games. You know what? I will actually log into my thing, and I will stop sharing, so you won't see my login code.
I actually, and while you go doing that, I actually got during one of those humble bundle sales, I actually got all of the Resident Evils.
There we go.
For a very low price. I think it was $30 or something like that, and I literally even got Resident Evil 8 on my library. It was a great deal.
Yes, absolutely. See, they do really good deals, and then they make for a long time they did really good deals, and they made me feel like, hey man, it's for a good cause, so why not? And I would buy them. And even if it's a scenario where I don't necessarily need all of them, I don't mind it. If it has enough in there that a game that I haven't played before or something like that, it'll justify getting it because, hey, I'm helping kids with cancer, or I'm helping doing this, or I'm helping doing that. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah, of course.
And it built my library so much so that I will actually share my screen and show you the depth of which my code library still exists here. Oh, actually, if I can find it, it is. Let me see how many pages long now. 29 pages long. Yes, wow. That's right. Like codes upon codes upon codes, libraries. Like I have bought a lot of these games.
Guacamelee is a great game. Those two games are awesome.
A lot of these games, man.
I recommend everybody listen. I recommend that everybody makes their landing page deals.gg, and literally, even like for example, all the games that I've downloaded free on Epic after we had that conversation, it's been because of deals.gg. Okay, it's been because I literally see it on there and it says free, and I click, and then it just opens up, and then I just redeem.
After you realize that you were being a what's the word? What's the word? You say it. Go ahead.
A missionary launcher gamer. Okay, but I have a lot of people on my side, as you saw in the private chat. There's some of us that still don't. OBM, I believe, is one of them that does not, appreciate the Epic launchers of the world. So. We're getting there.
Suck it up, okay? Like it's a free game. All you gotta do is download a freaking launcher. Calm down.
I mean, they didn't want to release Alan Wake remake on Steam, but that's fine. If you have to go to Epic,
it will release on Steam soon enough. And by the way, I have Medal of Honor origin keys. I have Mirror's Edge keys if anybody wants them. I haven't The Sims 3.
FTW, he's right. They had both Evil Withins the last 2 weeks on Steam.
Exactly.
Which by the way, I don't know if you saw the article today. Supposedly they're not doing real good when it comes to making money. They're not profitable yet.
Well, you know why? Yeah,
because people like me don't go there.
Well, no, it's not because people like you don't go there. It's because they screwed themselves. They made the Fortnite creator thing a little too lucrative for them, for the people. So they're paying people to build the thing, and then when the people build the thing and it's so lovely, what do the people do? They just play that, and they don't play the next season, which then gets you to buy more skins. So what happens? They're losing a bunch of money. That's basically what's happening. Right?
We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
If anybody wants any codes, holla at me in the DMs if you want any classic XCOM codes. I have a bunch of codes. Yes, I have codes going all the way back to 2012. When I started buying this stuff, pages and pages and pages of keys. Obviously, if you've seen them, if you see these here, your Mafias, your Spec Ops: The Line,
that's a great Spec Ops needs a remake. Okay,
of course it does.
Like yesterday,
of course it does. Your Square bundles. Look, this is. Oh yeah, I have some. Anybody want some Hitman codes? I have a bunch of them. So there you go. You know what I mean? If you're interested, check it out. Humble Bundle. They do really, really good stuff. It's for a good cause. You can see all the places they're going. And by the way, if you're looking in my list and there's a code that you find interesting, but I haven't unlocked it yet, well, you can holler at me in the DMs. I might throw that code at you.
I might hit you up. Here, Kate, to grow my to artificially grow my Steam library.
it's all good. If you're interested, it's all to you. And that's page 3, by the way. Here's page 2, which is 2015 and onward. It's awesome. It'll keep going. So yes, that's that. The last one that I will offer you, in the same vein, have you heard of a service called a store? Because I know how much you love stores. Itch.io.
No. Is it
okay? This one.
Do you get itchy when you go to the website? Because I got itchy all of a sudden. No.
This will be special to you. Itch.io. I don't know if some people know it, some people do not. This is the place where indies play. From the school, the school student who built their first game to AAA monster game fare. They're all in here. And many of them are free.
Okay.
They want people to play whatever genre you want, whatever style you want, VR, non-VR, horror, comedy, whatever it is, you will find someone who built it. There's a lot of indie fare in here, a lot, but there's also a lot of very interesting special things in here as well. How I found this is way back. Well, 2 reasons. One, there was a developer who used to work at Rockstar, who then went off on his own path and made an indie game, and he's currently still making the indie game. It's a VR indie game that is Cyberpunk but VR, fully VR Cyberpunk. And he started putting his builds on itch.io.
Really?
If you buy one, if you buy it for $20, and which I bought many years ago, when it comes properly out, you get the Steam version for free. Or if you want the PSVR 2 version, it's also for free.
Oh, dude, that's pretty cool.
I bought it a long time ago. So yes, I've been following him here for a long time. But just like Humble Bundle, when events happen from time to time, they put bundles together. The last bundle I got was, what was it? Help COVID or whatever. Like they did a COVID drive. This was some years ago. Like 400 games.
Wow, that's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
And literally, then once, okay, so how does does it get added to your Steam library? Does it get, or are they just games that you install and play right then and there? How does that work?
So this one, since it's a very indie focused one, it's not for Steam. You can literally download them like by yourself. Like right here, you hit download. It's on your drive. You double click, like old school back in the day when you didn't need a launcher. Yeah,
so it'll be on your desktop.
Grab them if you want. You can pull them, download them for your own use, or there is also the itch.io launcher if you so choose, and then click on them from within the launcher. But you have a choice. You don't want to have a launcher on your machine, you can just go to a website, download the binaries, hit play, and you're playing.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I really, really like this one because this one gives you, this is the stuff where you'll find guys and girls who have a dream, and all they need is somebody to see how good they are or whatever, right? As well as, oh, you want like monster like collections? Here's where you get it. Oh, and by the way, that's what it was called. It was called the Racism Equality Bundle. That's what it was. I remember now. There it is. And in it was Oxenfree, among other games.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Like the collateral damage. Another one of those classic games. Like so many games in these bundles.
Oh, Celeste is in there as well. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Celeste is in it. Like they have hundreds of games that I
can just imagine like the weirdos and the psychos also come in here and like making Hatred clones. Remember Hatred?
Yes. So this is the game I was telling you about, Lo-Fi. This is the game by Rockstar developer who was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm off to go do my own thing. And he made his own in VR. And I played this before.
You actually told me about this one time.
Yes. It is like so cool and stylish. Like it is next level stuff. But look, and as you can see, look, you can buy it for $35 here. When it comes out, it'll be 70. And every time a new development update comes out, version 5.0, version 6.0, you just go click it and download it and try it for yourself.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Like if you're into taking a peek behind the curtain and
exactly
playing,
interesting things.
Yep. There's definitely gems in there. You just have to, it's kind of like a Goodwill store. You got to go in there and you have to look through all the stuff to find the gem. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. But there are so many developers and games in here. If you want to partake, if you want to be a part of it, I think I said this to y'all before. Has anybody ever played this game called Pikuniku before?
No, I've never heard you talk about that.
My son learned to play video games playing Pikuniku. It's on everything. It's on the Switch. It's on the Xbox. It's on PC.
It's a platformer.
It's a platformer. It's by the gods known as Devolver Digital, so you know it's good.
Okay.
Like this game is insane. My son played this game for like 80 hours.
Wow.
Altogether. On the Switch, on the PlayStation, on the Xbox, everywhere. He loves, with a capital L, this game. And it's quite good.
That's pretty cool.
And they're all in here as well. So, interesting, weird, cool, fair. If you
Mr. Joanna Dark wants to know that he says he needs an Alan Wake 2 code. Is he gonna find one there, Kay, or in your library for you to give him, or what?
I mean, so it's funny.
Do we look like Heartbeat to you, man? Do we look like Heartbeat, Chani? Come on, man. Now.
It is funny that Mr. Joanna Dark does mention specifically Alan Wake 2 codes, because there's a show. We'll see you Saturday. I'll just leave it this.
All right, tune in Saturday. All right, Gaming Circle podcast. Tune in Saturday. It's looking good. It's looking good for someone out there.
I'm just saying, we've been getting super chats in there, and we figure, maybe we start, see you Saturday.
All right.
Specifically Alan Wake 2. It's funny you mentioned that. See you Saturday. We did Sonic Superstars a couple weeks ago. We'll see.
There you go, Mr. Dark. Saturday. Tune in Saturday.
So there you go. Yes. Yes. So I think this should about round all the ideas and gift ideas we presented. There's some really interesting off the beaten path stuff that people might not be aware of, right? In addition to your, go buy them the Robux, go buy them the Steam codes and all that.
Man. You can't
go wrong. There are lots of different avenues, and if you're interested, if you yourself have never traversed these places before, you should think about it. Come through. I'm telling you, like right now, Overland, like right here. See this game right here. If you have not played this game, you need to do yourself a favor and you need to play it immediately. It's one of the best games I played in a long time, and it's a very, very small indie game. Look at this. Like the whole game is a diorama. That's the view of it. Every time it's a diorama, and you're driving through the city. Like this is how it looks, right? And you're driving through the city, and you're literally like, it's like aliens have invaded, and everywhere you go, more of them show up, and you have to traverse and you have to escape them. And the whole world is one small diorama and then another small diorama, and you're trying to survive. It's literally like what's Xbox's game where the survival game that people love so much?
Oh, that's you're talking about the zombie one?
Exactly. Yes. It's like that.
But see, look, blanking on the name. State of Decay.
State of Decay, exactly. It's like that, but more indie, and the style is different. But it's more like, hey, we stay together, we find people, we save each other, we have to pretend, we have to stay away from the monsters. It is, and this is so indie, and it's really well done. That's and of course, since it's so tiny, it'll play on anything.
There
TDP.
You go. That's
10. You're playing for 18 hours. It's beautiful. It's great.
Yeah, that's why those small experiences are so great with that. Which great segue, by the way. Okay, there's two things I want to talk to before we go. The first the first one that we have Mr. Joanna Dark in the comments there. Have you seen any reviews on the Lenovo Go yourself? Because I've seen a couple of reviews.
Lenovo Go reviews, and salute to you, BT Maverick 707. We will once again thank him for his super chats that he left. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. You left those super chats asking about hey, have we seen these? And we definitely want to talk about it now. So, what are your thoughts there, Mr. John Wolf?
So
I know you're paying attention to this stuff.
Yeah, of course. I always pay attention.
It's not your processor, your ally processor. People are saying that it's the best thing since sliced bread. I haven't heard as much about the battery life situation.
Hey,
what do you think?
If Mr. Joanna Dark wants to jump in, because I know he has his hands on one. We can send you the link, brother. Just let us know if you want. If you want in, I see there. I gotta talk about it. If you want in, let me know if you got the time right now. So
yeah, you're welcome to jump in. Yes. So
okay.
You tell us that. Yeah.
So what I've seen of the reviews so far is that this is definitely a solid outing by Lenovo. They didn't take any shortcuts, so to speak. They even went above and beyond to improvise and to not improvise, but to innovate in their own way in this growing PC handheld market that basically brought people like me into the PC space. Okay. I got brought in by the Steam Deck, you know that. So these things are a great catalyst to bring people into the PC ecosystem. While they achieved many great things with their first outing, the universal thought behind it is that perhaps they went a little bit too gimmicky with it, and they just didn't stick to just concentrate on having a solid landing on their first go round. So what do I mean by that?
Synopsis you got?
That's a synopsis I got from the different reviewers I've seen from your trusted sources, such as ET Prime, RetroCorps, etc. The problem that I've seen, the biggest issue that I have seen, and I'm sorry to start off with the negative first. Unfortunately, I want to start off with the negative and then end with the positive. Is that for the device, for the potential that was there, I feel like if they shot themselves in the foot. Okay,
with what?
For example, when let's compare it. Let's compare the Asus ROG Ally to the Lenovo Go, right? With the screen, for example, Lenovo decided to go with 144 hertz screen that it's not VRR compatible, but the ROG Ally team did decide to do the 120 with the VRR. Okay, now from the reviews that I've heard, and I don't know because I don't have hands-on, people wish that they would have just gone with maybe 120 frames, kind of like the Asus did with a VRR screen, which overall you'll get a better experience in the long run than going with just 144 hertz and just saying, hey, we got a bigger number, so just trust us. It's going to be better. That's all they did. Hey, they didn't fall back on VRR technology, on anything like that. They're just like, the number's greater, you need to trust in us, which a lot of people are like, how many games are really going to get there?
And really quickly, for those who may not be fully aware of what that means, the 120 hertz screen is great, but on a handheld, if you don't have VRR, you're at a loss a little bit because, and Mr. Joanna Dark, the link is in the chat. Is in the DM. You're at a loss a little if you don't have a VRR screen at 120 hertz on a handheld, because how many games will really hit that 120 hertz and give you that fluidity? Not many, right? Because it's a handheld, so you're not playing those games at that fidelity. So what VRR does is it matches the display's resolution of hertz match your game speed. So instead of trying to get the game from 40 to 120, the screen comes to 40 to match what your game is playing at, and it gives you that fluidity that you want.
Right, making it seamless, by the way.
Exactly. As it fluctuates, the screen, as the game fluctuates, so does the hertz of the screen.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like G-Sync, FreeSync, that idea.
Yeah. So right there, something, and again, these are just nitpicks that I've seen so far in these reviews. But for people that are looking to see which device they should get, maybe that's a deal breaker. I don't know. So another thing is that this is, and Kay, we've talked about this like in our days that we talked on the phone. I kind of wish that these companies would just concentrate on putting a better battery in the device and stop worrying about the gimmicks like removing the little Joy-Con things and making it a mouse and all that. Worry about the battery so that people can get what they want, and just bring it down to 60 hertz. 60 hertz.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the hands-on account, Mr. Joanna Dark. What's going on, sir?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Loud and clear, good sir. Tell us we are ridiculous. Tell us that the little Joy-Con things you take out is life-changing. You're here to rebut everything we're saying because you're having it in hand right now. Tell us.
Yeah, so I got the Legion Lenovo Go last week, and I was like, all right, let me see what this device is all about. I think John made some good points. One of the key things we've kind of talked about is that we love the VR screen on the ROG Ally. But when I went into this device, I set it up. It was pretty simple. I felt like I did less steps to get it up and going versus the ROG Ally. And not saying that it's perfect, because it kind of, I think at the moment, the setup reminds me similar to the ROG, but less of a cumbersome experience, meaning that Legion Space kind of did many of the updates. I did encounter driver updates at the moment that they fixed finally. That was a day one thing where they had drivers from like July. Now, on the device, one of the things that I was afraid of was, okay, yes, it's 144 hertz. Am I going to see the screen tearing? And I will say this. I've played games. I booted up Cyberpunk 2077, and that is sort of at the moment what sold me on that 8-inch screen, because it popped. One of the things that I had an issue with Cyberpunk is on the ROG Ally is that the text was too small, and this fixes that issue. So I was playing Cyberpunk and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And one of the things that they started doing now, if you're not aware of, is one thing that I did when I had the 1X player that had a 600p screen. I'm able to now create 1050 or 900p profile. So what I do is I put at the sweet spot of 1680 by 1050, and that seems to be the sweet spot. I love that Lenovo came with this device because it feels solid. One of the things that I was afraid of was that it was going to be heavy, and to my surprise, for me personally, it did not feel heavy. It felt comfortable and most ergonomically, and maybe that's because of my hands, but it definitely feels comfortable being able to play. I put in about 3-4 hours into there. I played Alan Wake, which looked pretty good on there. Now onto the FPS mode, which is the key thing that got me, right? I wanted to try it out because I wanted to see how RTSs play. I want to replay Dragon, excuse me, not Dragon. What is it? Dragon Age, excuse me. And I want to go in and maybe play finally Baldur's Gate 3 now that it's complete.
So you were sold on the little gimmicky joysticks coming off. You were sold on it.
So the reason is because,
but does it work? Because the man has played it. So let's hear what he has to say. So, what are your thoughts? Yeah.
So at first I was like, this is terrible, right? But now why? I wasn't aware that you can go into Legion Space and you can actually change the buttons around setup, because
all of the buttons, you can make it your own button setup. Yeah.
You would have to be what was that guy? Rubber man or stretch it with your fingers.
Fantastic.
to make it work the default way.
Because I was like, what is this? Yeah. So I went in and I got it, and I got the buttons and everything, and I changed them, and I was having a blast just sitting there with my I have like a kind of a couch keyboard thing going where I can sit on my couch, and I have this thing that I put over when I want to be lazy and just play on the couch with my PC. So I put that there, and it was just great to use this thing as as a shooter. Even better than what I was thinking. I wanted to use the trackpads when I had it on the Steam Deck.
Interesting.
So here's my question, sir. Would it not be a better experience to have that on a table while projecting the thing on the TV versus that teeny tiny screen? Because it's 8-inch, but when you separate it, it's still a small screen on your desk, and I always thought that was a little bit cumbersome. What do you think?
I think the almost 9-inch screen has really helped me, because one of the things I've done it before, right? I had the AKO Zoe, and I had it with the kickstand and everything like that. Yes, there it is. And look at that screen.
There you go.
But for some reason it didn't feel. But yes, I did attach it to an external monitor, and yes, it was a good experience of having it that way. What I would say that I'm having, if I had to tell people, hey, should I trade in my ROG Ally for the Legion Lenovo Go? My thing that's happening with these handhelds is this, right? Asus saw Steam and said, what do we need to do to kind of get ahead of them by small? Cool, bring more power, bring VRR screen, all this stuff, all these bells and whistles, right? But when you look at them, right, they're still sort of on the cusp. And when you look at it, you're saying, well, this is what a Steam Deck 2 could have been like. And what I think Lenovo did is said, hey, how do I stand out from the ROG Ally and Steam Deck?
Right.
And maybe I can take the power narrative by adding higher frequency RAM. So for those of you that are aware, is when you do have a higher frequency of RAM speed, that goes to the VRAM.
I mean the 7500 mega transfer speeds?
Correct.
Which this has? I'm sorry, I'm just doing that. So, I'm gonna keep doing that. Just go ahead. How many gigs of RAM does that thing have?
The difference.
This has 64.
And the Lenovo Legion Go is the fact that yours has 64, so you can go up to similar to like I have the GPD Win, you know, the one that looks like a
right now the VRAM in this is set to 16 gigs.
Wow.
Correct. So I have mine the same way, and I can tell the difference, especially now playing with a game like Alan Wake. So with the Lenovo,
the stability is there.
If you're on the market for a device, you want a big screen because you want to be able to maybe, you know, see that text better for the games you play, right? And you're looking for, like, you know, what is that little bit of extra oomph that maybe the ROG Ally you on the fence? I would recommend. I think Lenovo, there's promise here, and I'm happy because what you're going to see is ASUS, Valve, and now Lenovo coming in. They make great devices, by the way. They make great computers.
Yes, they don't look great, but they are workhorses forever.
The good thing is, no, but I agree with what he's saying, because the more players that come in, the more competition and the more innovation you're going to see. While again, knocking it like I was knocking it for the gimmicky stuff, it's still nice that they came in and they tried something else. I just kind of wish, and Mr. Joanna Dark, you can talk about the battery now in a second. I just kind of wish that these companies would focus in on the battery. Who is the company that's going to put the puzzle together of saying, okay, let's not give them the 120 frames that they could barely use on these devices. Instead, let's give them a 60 hertz screen with a bigger battery, and then people are going to say, there you go, that's what I think most people will want.
Having the AKO Zoe, having the GPD Win Max 2, which GPD Win Max 2 has a 75 and the AKO Zoe has 65. I was literally today, I just got back from taking my daughter. I was playing Metal Gear at 18 watts. Of
course you were. How long were the cutscenes before you played anything? I'm sorry.
Oh, the slander. Kojima's a genius, man. Get out of here.
Snake.
So excuse me. So I was surprised that it had a battery. Now with the Lenovo, it reminds me of the Aya Neo 2, which I had, and that had a 49 watt battery. And while it's a little bit more than the ROG Ally, it's kind of fool's gold because you have to power that screen, right? So
that's where my anger was when I first heard the specs.
I did see myself with my battery pack because I've been testing, and tomorrow I'm going to be commuting to the city, so I'm going to test that specific unit to play some Jusant.
This man is living the dream, Kay. I love it.
But see, I think the man is still on the cusp of the cautionary tale here. See, he's doing it so we don't have to. What he's speaking to me, and I will leave you to tell me if I'm right or wrong here. He's saying, unless you're an idiot like me and you're ready to go all the way to China to get this thing, right? Your best bet is the Legion Go, because it is your next driver for like decent screen. Decent sized screen. Otherwise, you got no options. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I think VRR needs to be something that's a staple of these devices, because going on the ROG Ally, it's one of those key things that I love about that device and the screen. I definitely feel like if there's going to be a handheld, especially with the power profiles, they have to improve those big batteries. I mean, you can't have an 8-inch device and have the same battery that a Switch would operate, or an Aya Neo 2. Now, one of the things that I can say, some of the cons about the devices, again, Lenovo is so to kind of give you about Legion Space, what's cool about it a little bit is they do have a store, and it ties to Games Planet and their Steam. So what they're doing, I think, is that's how they're subsidizing the price, because it's $699 for the 512, and I actually a friend of mine just picked one up at Micro Center, if you have a Micro Center near you, and you can actually get the $799 variant with a 2 terabyte hard drive. So for $50 more from the $750, you go $50 more, you get 2 terabytes. Because here's another thing that Asus did great. When you do swapping of the hard drives, you have to clone the drive. Lenovo hasn't given you like Lenovo Cloud Recovery.
Oh,
so
wow! So it's very, very DIY a little bit when you're building it.
And that's what I was going to ask you before you keep on going, Mr. Dark. So how would you say, how far along would you compare Asus was compared to Lenovo on their launch? Would you say that Asus was further along, or would you think that they were kind of in the same place where they started, or let's throw another player in here. Do you think Steam was way ahead even more than both of them when they first launched the Steam Deck?
Kay and I, we talk about Steam, and I think Steam is still the standard. What they've done with Proton, what they've done with the software.
They still boss.
I think in a market that's going to be saturated by these devices, what is going to come down to, like anything that I would tell somebody, is the experience. The Aya Neo and Aya Space has come so far that when it comes to, I would say, a competitor to Steam, Aya Neo is one of the players that's in there. One of the things that I had to do on the Lenovo Legion Go,
that's high praise. Let me tell you,
to do the VRAM change. It's not like Armory Crate. And I would say, if anything,
and by the way, for this one, in order to do the VRAM change, you have to be sent a special file from AOK Zoe themselves.
Wow.
Right? You got to get an email. You got to get an email from them, and now it's on here. And now it's so weird, right? And it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I got this. I love it. But to Mr. Joanna Dark's point, I see why the appeal for the Ally and for the Legion Go, because you could just go to a store and just pick it up, and if it breaks, you can return it.
Oh yeah,
no Chinese connection on this one.
You want to know something? And real fast, Mr. Joanna Dark, because I know you had 15 minutes for us, and I don't want to cut into your time. But if when the Asus ROG Ally came out, if I knew that this sucker was coming out and it would have maybe came out a month or two after, perhaps I would have, because it would have given me more options in the GPU market for me to attach it to a GPU. But that's that's a special use case there.
To answer your question, I think both Lenovo and Asus are kind of step in step.
Okay.
Especially coming out, Lenovo feels like they just put this device at the moment out because they wanted to probably hit something. And I'm not talking from a build quality, so let me make that clear to everyone. I'm talking about from a software perspective. Meaning when I go into
it's not done.
Legion Space, it literally triggers me to Lenovo's website. And then you do Lenovo Bridge, which for many of you who know Lenovo Bridge, and then it checked the drivers. Now, so now my thing is, if you are on the fence for a device, and now that the Lenovo's there, again, I would say if you're in the market for a huge screen, that screen pops. The colors. I've played Jusant. I've played Sea of Stars. I put in some very colorful indie games that really pop with this, and I definitely love a little bit of the saturation in there. And again, it's very comfortable. One of the things about the ROG, even though it's really small, is that those edges, to me, it don't feel as comfortable.
The edges, yes. Ooh, and Mrs. Joanna Dark, real quick, because you and I talk about this all the time. There's an update, sir. Something new's coming. Nice. Ooh, baby.
and real fast, Mr. Joanna Dark, just for those edges that you were talking about, I bought it, but it is an extra cost. JSOX that they make. JSOX makes adapters and stuff like that for everything for portable devices. They actually sell these 2 grips that literally slide on.
I'm gonna take a page from you. I don't put condoms on my handhelds.
So you like to game unprotected. I got you, brother.
Wow.
I can't hate on you. I can't hate on you. He likes feeling the console raw,
Stop. This is terrible, man.
He likes to raw dog the consoles. I got you.
Wow. Man.
What I'm saying is, one of the key things that I think they did great is that I love about the Steam Deck is that they took into account for me the way you grip controllers, right? Even on when I do FPS mode, right? One of the things I tell people sometimes when I used to sell mice to people, right? When I used to in my other life, I was like, how do you hold your mouse? And I would tell them, okay, like this, because some people are heavy-handed, some people are light-handed. So I with the in FPS mode, I do like how I can torch to I guess my hands, and I think it's comfortable. So the ergonomically, I think it's a great device, slightly compared to the ROG Ally. And again, I would recommend it over there, especially with the price. If you look at the pricing and the performance, you're gonna get slightly better performance. I would say maybe depending on the game, maybe 5-10%, if that.
Why? Is it because of the mega transfers on the RAM?
Yeah. Because so here's the thing: the 75 mega transfer rates that goes into the VRAM to the GPU, so that helps.
Wow, I didn't know that.
In addition to that, I think Lenovo, there's a few things that they're gonna fix, and it seems like they want to get in the market. But as a big screen device, if you don't mind a 7-inch, but you want to go for a bigger device with a bigger screen, kind of like television type of, and you can use it like a tablet too, which is nice. So you can put on a movie on there and use it that way. I think it's a cool device. I would say this, right? I think either of those devices you're fine, because Lenovo did just enough to kind of dip their toes and kind of entice you, right? They kind of say, "Hey, look, we're over here. Come check us out. Come check us out. We have a couple of things." But they do have a long way to go from a software perspective in the sense of catching up with the ROG, which I think they put out a roadmap, which is nice. And I've been on the Reddit and on the Discord, and just like the ASUS community with the ROG Ally, they're very passionate and they're providing a lot of that feedback to Lenovo. So I would say right now, for me, my personal device that I'm using at the moment is, you guys know, it's the WinMax Pro 2.
I've seen you. Yeah, I've seen you.
It's a 10-inch device. It doesn't do any 60. It only does 60 hertz, but it is a monster. And when I mean performance, GPD Win, for many of you who may not know, they're kind of leading the pack when it comes to efficiency on the 7840U devices. So what I mean by that is, number one, you're getting the performance that you expect from these devices. Two, they've tailored it to the point of when you're changing the TDP, or the wattage, as we call it, you're getting efficiency on there. The device is not for everyone. I'll tell you this. You got to have Donkey Kong hands.
I'm not a fan of the design. Every time you show me, I always imagine myself kind of holding the device, and I don't know, like how is it? How is it? Because you're literally the joystick. You're literally the controls are separated by literally a keyboard, right? Is that kind of like the best way to describe it?
Yeah. So it's kind of like this weird 3DS kind of feel clamshell. They do have a smaller version which has 120 hertz with no VRR, which I'm interested to hear when the Fox and Retro Game Court talk about it, because I know it's been a hot one. But the device itself is great.
Speaking of Retro Game Court, let me share his footage while we talk about this, because I think his would be useful.
It's a great device. I've been happy with it. What I like is that they took a page from the PS5, I'm going to say it right now, where you literally just unscrew a slot and you can add an extra SSD on there. So actually, at the moment, I have literally a 2 terabyte SSD for a total of 4 terabytes on there.
Okay, so forgive me, Mr. Joanna, but it seems that I'm having weird, either it's me or it's StreamYard, but I'm having very odd connection issues. It's not letting me share my screen. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do it. Maybe you want to try doing that on your end, Mr. John Wolf. It's not letting me share the video. Yeah,
but I'll give an update. I'm gonna put more games on there. Alan Wake has played very well. I've been messing around. It is a heavy game, of course, and I noticed the difference on the devices, but I think it's handling it really well.
Okay.
And
obviously low 720p probably.
I would say you could do a little bit more.
A little medium mix, or you're going higher?
You can low on this device, low settings.
Yeah.
On the actual WinMax 2, I can do a little bit more. I can wiggle with it. And definitely you can see the difference.
And that's on the GPD that's on the 7840U device too. Interesting.
Correct. Now, mind you, that one has 75 mega transfer rates, 64 gigs of RAM. So I've allocated 16 gigs.
You got boss stuff on there. Of course. So, interesting. Okay.
But when you look at the device, it's a beautiful device. When it detaches, is weird to kind of detach them. It's not as easy, but I get why the design. Putting those suckers back, it's a little bit sometimes, it's not a chore, but I'm like, okay, you got to hear the click, kind of like the switch. And then Legion Space, like I said, has a store if you want to buy PC games that then, goes to your Steam account and other stores.
Mhm.
There's an Android store, but it takes you to the Amazon Windows.
Oh, yeah. You can set that up on any device, we can do that even on any of these devices. Just install the substrate and you can have Amazon store on your.
So
on
they
your
did
Windows.
kind of like what they did was they kind of like put a shortcut for you in there.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Excuse me. And then from there, they have the only thing that's weird is if you look at the top of this device, it has two buttons, right? It has the button to bring up the Legion Space, and the other one to kind of toggle the sort of Steam-like menu. But the thing is that they did here that they might have to change is that you have to, when you click one of those buttons, it activates that screen on the left and on the right. So you have to cycle through the quick toolbar twice sometimes. It's a weird thing. I think it's either a software thing, but hopefully they'll fix that where I only have to press the Legion Go button once, so I can pull up the quick menu screen versus hey, it's to the left, it's to the right, and that sort of causes like this weird kind of, it breaks your brain. The other thing I don't like about this device is that they added the start and the select buttons on the
weird side. Yeah, that was very unusual. Yeah.
So you get confused, right, when you're trying to press start from select. Yeah, especially when you're used to the control layout, where your left is usually select and right is start. So I get what you mean.
And then the last thing that hopefully they'll fix on that as well is with the Legion Spaces, hopefully they allow me to have mappable profiles. So one of the things I was trying to use Chiaki with this, and unlike the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck, I can't map the touchpad of the DualSense to any of the buttons at the moment because it doesn't allow custom profiles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they definitely, from everything that you're telling me and from the reviews that I've seen, they're definitely behind. It sounds like they are a few updates away from being able to at least match what Asus is offering on their side, with software wise, because hardware wise, everything sounds pretty solid though, Mr. Joanna Dark. From what
it's a solid device.
Joanna Dark though, you maybe you tell me, since you're using it. To me, it sounds like the jury's still out on the battery. I'm really waiting with bated breath on that.
What do you think? What do you think about that, Mr. Joanna? Like what from, because you're the king.
Is it better? Is it better or worse than the Ally? And that will say so.
This way, right? It's slightly, meaning that I'll
better.
Meaning it's slightly better in the sense that I'll slightly get some better, some like tiny bit of juice with it because of the size of the battery.
But we're talking about what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes more? What are we talking about here?
Because you could probably do another, I would say maybe realistically like 30 minutes. Maybe 30.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to try this tomorrow. That's my trip tomorrow. I'm going to run it on a 25 TDP, which I usually do with some heavy games. Probably do an 18 and see how long it lasts. I'll have my battery pack with me.
You know what the best part is? That if you need a self-defense weapon, you got one in your hands, because this thing is probably solid as a brick.
Now, one thing I wouldn't recommend is to people that have no knees, like you and Everborn. I don't know.
Not yet, man. All right, the month hasn't passed yet. Come on, we literally
the month that's passed. You got demolished. I mean, Kay was giving out codes like it was soup kitchen. And
we need to see the official sales. I need to see the numbers
because they put him to work because he has to make back the money.
Where are the numbers?
He ain't gonna get out like
that was in Japan, sir.
Okay, calm down. See, you see. This is why, Joanna Dark. This is why I don't want to deal with this right now, because they will keep, and of course, Everborn Saga, who's not here, he will go, well, this is not the game. No. What he's going to say now is, oh, this is not the game they were promised. It's the 3D one that's on Apple Arcade. That's the one.
Look at slow mo. He said, John saying that is like a team losing 70-0, and the game isn't over yet. Yes,
that's right.
What quarter are we in? We still got a chance.
Sonic got destroyed. They just came out with
I told y'all. What did I tell you? I told you John Wolf is the guy in the movie who, the jig is up, the bag is taken from him, his accomplices. His accomplices have all been put into custody. They're like, oh yeah, his name is John Wolf. He lives here. It's over.
They're
like, bro, just come out. He's like, no, I'm not coming.
So the fat lady sings, and I don't see Fat Princess anywhere. All right, it ain't
I'm
over.
not leaving until it's in the body bag.
Right now, the way you looked uncomfortable, man. That's usually what happens after post-op from a knee extraction. Dude,
hey, listen,
you've been dead for rights.
Listen, you guys don't have to worry. You guys don't have to worry.
And your knees were already for
when
sale.
the numbers come out, I will hold up my end of the bargain.
I'll
But
tell you this.
all I'm saying is that Sonic.
That you went to?
Hey, listen, Sonic hasn't been, selling themselves to QVC, on sale for the whole month like Mario has. Okay,
Sonic has been he's
brother. Every single time I log on to Twitter,
Sonic for free. What do you mean?
Okay. Enough of the slander. Enough of the slander.
$30 off Mario QVC. Use this code. Why are they so scared?
Went to get her free coffee, and they're like, "Would you like a copy of Sonic?" She came back. She's like, "What did I do?"
Oh my god!
Just throw it in the garbage.
Oh my goodness!
Come on.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, guys,
let's rein it back in here. Let's rein it back in because I think we're at the end of the show anyway.
Great review, dude. Great review.
Yes, awesome review. We look forward to hearing more from you about it because I'm starting to understand what its use case is. Because honestly, when it first came out and I first heard the reviews and I first heard the specs, I was like disappointed because I need it to be better than this, and it's not. Right. But it's okay that it's not. I'm understanding that this is for the Legion Go is this device, but for normal people, because then you have a backing of a normal store, right? And in order to do that, there were concessions made, and it has a shittier battery. It is what it is, right? It just is what it is. That's the case. Besides that, though, this is exactly the same spec as that thing, and this even has a bit more RAM. But again, on the flip side, anything breaks on this, and you have to contend with, shipping and whatnot. Whereas you can go to Best Buy for the other thing. So it makes sense.
Best Buy stuff, even Best Buy, we've read some issues. I was listening to ACG.
Oh yeah. Best Buy is not happy with the Ally right now. Yeah.
And that doesn't mean, but yes, you have the crutch if you have the Total Tech thing like that.
Get the Total Tech for anything, guys. That's a must.
On Micro Center, $100 covers even broken screen, no questions asked, which they're good. I've used them before in Micro Center, and it's just one of those things where the reason you don't go with the other ones is because of the fact that you do have to deal with people that may not speak natively English, and it's hard sometimes. But again, I think these are great devices. I like that ASUS went outside and did something different, which kind of tells me, hey, they saw a way of doing it. We might get some other weird devices that maybe can stand out from the pack, as we've seen a lot of these 7840U being flooded. I just hope that software gets better and we get to get much more optimized.
Drivers need to get better. Oh boy, the drivers need to, they're okay now, but they need to get better, I think, in order for it to really compete.
Kids are calling me, the wife is giving me that look.
You're good, brother.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, brother.
Tell me where I can send you some flowers for your knees. And
it ain't over, man.
Hey,
keep your flowers.
Show me where you're gonna mount those knees.
Keep your.
It's gonna be right. Look over there, right over there. It's gonna be one on Everborn, and the other one's gonna be John Wolf. It's gonna be hilarious. It's amazing. You can't wait.
The handheld king, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joanna Dark, the handheld king.
Indeed.
Peace.
Later, brother.
Thank you.
So there you have it. That was a good review of the Legion Go for
hands
now.
On. Someone that owns it.
Yes, absolutely.
All right,
we want to continue to talk to him as the time goes on and get his extended thoughts on it. But what were you going to say, sir?
Before we go, last 2 minutes of the show, I want to talk to you about something that we were kind of discussing earlier in our Twitter thread. Tell me what you think about this, okay? As we know, Phil Spencer came out, and I think he was interviewed during BlizzCon, which was this past weekend. He mentioned that his ROG Ally, he considers it his portable Xbox. And that caused a little bit of questioning on whether he should have said that or not, right? So let me ask you this. I'm of the mind that I believe he's in his right to call that his portable Xbox, even though it's literally not an Xbox. I think we all know that it's a ROG Ally. We understand the differences between an Xbox console and a ROG Ally, but I think for the sake of the discussion, what they consider now to be Xbox is wherever you access Xbox from. So if I'll give you one example from a technical perspective. Obviously, you cannot say that your cell phone is an Xbox because this is an Android device. It's a Samsung Flip. I know that it's a Flip. It's not an Xbox. But what if someone was to come to you and they don't own an Xbox console, but they tell you, I'm part of the Xbox ecosystem. I love my achievements. I love the way that Xbox does things because I go from my PC to my phone in cloud gaming.
Look, it's my portable Xbox.
Exactly. So from my perspective, someone him saying that, obviously, remember, it's all marketing 101 and it's all PR speak. I get that. But technicalities of it, it's funny how some people will say Xbox is so much more than consoles when it's convenient. And in this particular case that he is saying that Xbox is more than consoles because he's calling his ROG Ally a portable Xbox, his portable Xbox. Some people are
taking it to task. Yeah.
And I understand. And I'm not saying that those individuals are wrong for saying that, because that's like seeing the color red and then trying to tell someone that it's green. I get that. But just the overall theme here is that I believe that Xbox is considered an ecosystem now, not a particular device. Am I wrong there to think that?
You are not wrong, but I think that's not why Phil's getting smoke. You're not wrong, right? It is wherever it's available. And this is my portable Xbox. What am I playing? I'm playing Jusant right now because I can just do that right now.
Through the Xbox, on the Xbox ecosystem.
Yes, I'm all my achievements are here. If I want to, I can put headphones on and I can be talking to my buddy like through Xbox Live as if it's on the Xbox. You know, this is it. There I am. I'm playing it. When I'm done, I put it away. And next time I pick it up on a console, right? It'll have all the same achievements. It'll have all the same stuff. It'll have all the same stuff that I was playing here a minute ago.
Okay, and to interrupt you real fast, explain to some of the, because obviously that's a chat that we're having in our DM. Remake Station 5. Smoke for what? What is Phil getting smoked for? For saying, for calling?
Okay, let me explain. I think we're having two different conversations here, right?
Yeah.
The reason why people are like, oh yeah, we hear you, Phil, is because when people say portable Xbox, they are asking Phil for when Microsoft is going to make one of these.
They want one
of these. Yes. They want one of these that says Xbox on it.
Yes.
Okay. And every time he says that, they ask him that, he goes, look, Xbox is wherever you happen to play it. This is my portable Xbox, and he's holding his ROG Ally. And people go, get out of here with that, Phil, because it's basically come on.
Hold on.
We all think they're making one of these, aren't they? If they weren't, they are now, because look at the market. All of a sudden it's blowing up and everyone's using what? Their operating system.
Okay.
So that's what they mean when they say, come on, Phil. That's where their smoke comes from. But what you're saying is a whole different conversation. And that is wholly, solely valid, which is this can be your portable Xbox, right? Your phone can be your portable Xbox. If you happen to live in a state or a country that makes sure that your internet connection is so decent that every time you hit remote cloud play, it's smooth as butter, you could play your whole thing there, never even notice, right? I mean, I played on the G Cloud forever. I played almost all of Ghostwire Tokyo on the G Cloud.
You played through the G Cloud, through the cloud server, earning achievements through the Xbox ecosystem, playing the Xbox version of the game. But
I could even talk to buddies on the lodge, right?
You can chat with your friends. You can chat with your friends, party chat, the works. You can send messages through Xbox Live.
So if that was the only device I had to access their system, that could be my portable Xbox. Obviously, I am, of course, a techno lust dude who has 15 devices that do the same thing. So I'm not going to be playing all my stuff on that device all day. Sure. But if I didn't, if this was my only PC, imagine it's this is many years ago. Kay Asante doesn't have the grays, aka he ain't got the grip in his pocket to be able to afford all the things he affords. He's maybe in a college campus somewhere or a dorm room somewhere, right? He does not have a PC and a game system and this and that. He barely has a pot to piss in. He's a college student. So maybe he just has this one device that if he's lucky and his parents bought him a monitor and a keyboard, he plugs this down and now he can write spreadsheets and do things on this device as a PC device. And then when he picks it up and he's going going to hang out, there's where your Game Pass lives, right? One device to do them all. It can be his portable Xbox. It can be his portable play. All the above, right?
Right. But yeah. this is the thing. I think, and I think you're right about the two types of conversations here, because let's say, okay, do you think that people will be happy if Xbox was to bring out a portable console? Let's say the one that you're holding there, let's say that it was branded Xbox, sold by Microsoft, but it only played the PC version of the Xbox games. It's literally the same thing. What I think people want is the console in your hand. That's what they want. Well, they don't want the PC experience. They want the console in your hand.
Well, it's also two different people that want that. Two different things, right? So you and I, we talk with our other brother, Mr. Everborn Saga. He wants the console in your hand, right? I don't want the console in your hand because a console in your hand comes with limitations. Right? That's not what I want. The best thing that I want is this device, but with a Microsoft UI that not only standardizes this across the board so everyone can have a nice UI, not just a stupid app that's not really great for touch, but a proper UI that can be launched on any handheld device. And oh, by the way, you can control TDP with it. Oh, by the way, all the various chips that have special features are accessible there. And it's not impossible to do because Universal Tuner and all these other apps are out there doing exactly that. Just bring it all in-house. One UI to control them all. So now, whether I play my game, and here's the thing. Here's what would be really cool, right? If I have, Alan Wake on my PC, on my portable Xbox here, right? And I launch that UI, and maybe I bought Alan Wake on the Epic Store, but I'm launching it on the Xbox UI. Maybe Xbox still gives me credit for playing it, whether it be on the Epic Store or not. Give me my achievements because you see it. It's all through the UI. There's no reason not to give me those achievements. You know I'm playing it, and you know I'm not going to buy it in your store because I already own it on another store. So make it all part of my ecosystem. By and large, companies like GOG Galaxy are doing that. You can go to the GOG store, tap in all your stuff, and it's literally just your games. Where are they from? What platform are they on? Who cares? They're just there next to each other.
Yep.
Right?
Awesome.
You just hit play and you're playing. They're all in your ecosystem. It doesn't matter if you bought them on the Microsoft Store or you bought them on the Epic Store or whatever. They're all in one. They all function together. That's the dream.
So, and that would be great. But again, there's just a difference when he says, this is my portable Xbox. Yeah. He's technically right. It's a portable Xbox.
Look. The reason why people are giving him smoke is because, yes, it's a portable Xbox, but that wasn't the question, Phil. The question is, when are you going to make us one of your own? That was the question.
But
and then you went, oh, but I have a portable Xbox. Even I would go.
But hold on.
Even I would do that.
Okay, this is okay. That part of the conversation is where the wires always get crossed. If he were to tell you, "Okay, I'm going to make a special handheld for you."
Hold on. I see Is it Ramskin Station 5?
No, Remake Station.
Remake Station. I'm looking at really small. Okay, there we go. Remake Station 5. Asking a question. Don't you want them to make money?
Well, they'll make money either way.
In what scenario do they not make money here?
Yeah.
If they make one of these devices, they own the whole stack. They make all the money from it. Yes, people talk about R&D and this and that. The only R&D that's a problem is when you're making console R&D where everything has to be wholly the same. When you're making your own DIY like this, it's already been done. Like Microsoft can go to AMD or heck Intel and say, give us a processor. And they don't have to worry about any reference designs because it's the PC world, right? But, as long as it runs the minimum spec, that's it. They don't have to worry about anything else.
Hey, here's the thing. This is where I think that this conversation falls apart when we're having it, because we're not having it as a discussion. Instead, we're chatting, right? Okay. If Phil was to come out in that interview and say, guys, I have great news for you. Your prayers have been answered. This holiday, we have a portable Xbox, what we are calling our portable Xbox. And all it is an Asus ROG Ally. No. All it is an Asus ROG Ally. With a skin and with a special UI that is easier to navigate or whatever, but you're playing the PC Game Pass version of it. People are still going to come after him.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
That's what he has in his hands.
The devil is in the details. The devil is in the details, okay? Because honestly, I hear you, and there are people exactly like that. Don't get me wrong. I know there are people who literally want a portable version of the Xbox OS, and they'll expect nothing less than that. But that's not necessarily all that's available, right? There's software, even DIY, which very hard to configure and all of that. But when you hone it right and you configure it correctly, you can set it up so you never see the desktop. It never launches like a Windows launcher does. It boots just like a console does. You don't see it, and you got to configure. No, it is as as soon as it comes up, all it does, it doesn't show up small screen. It shows up the whole screen. It stays on the whole screen. There's never a desktop, right? You can set this thing up, configure it so that it acts exactly like a console, even though the underlying code that's booting up is a PC game. If you're able to do that and convince the troglodytes, you're fine. The problem is when people can see the desktop, when people see, I booted it up and now the side is not, the PC cruft that sometimes happens. That's what gets people all riled up.
You're not wrong, but hold on a second, because I still think I'm not convinced that the same people will still not be mad if they were to do that. Because what I think the word that they leave out in when they make a comment is that they leave out that they want a portable Xbox console device, and you're not going to get a portable Xbox console device and a Asus ROG Ally device in one. You got to choose. It's one or the other. You get a PC or you get a console, because if they were to bring out the Series S in a handheld version, you're not playing PC games on that. You can only play Xbox games on that. So again, I think
it's a different platform. You cannot interoperate like that.
So then if looking at that, right, looking at the future of where we're going, okay, even if Xbox wasn't to make their own official one.
I'm sorry. Before we continue, I'm wrong. You can, but it would be complicated. You can, because let's be clear here, and we are PC people, so we can speak in PCs. You, Mr. John Wolf, may not be so well. How well versed are you in virtual machines?
I mean, I know about it, but I can't tell you.
That is literally what Xbox runs, virtual machines. Okay. So as long as the host, which is the underlying real hardware, which is this guy, can handle what the virtual machine inside is throwing at it, you can have a console inside a desktop any day. Inside that console, it is inside the VM. It is Xbox through and through and through and through. It doesn't see anything different. But on the outside, you're PC land. They could do it. They could do you both.
Okay. So
because they run VMs already anyway.
Okay. So let's leave it there then, and we'll see what the future holds. Be like, I think that I technically don't think he was wrong in his comment. He has a portable Xbox.
No, he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong in his comment. But people know he knows what they were asking him. People knew what they were asking him, and he kind of obfuscating by going, "Yeah, portable Xbox." Let's be clear. They are at least R&Ding a portable Xbox.
I want to get
people asking about.
I want to get BT Maverick's comments since he's so generous to the show. Mr. Dark, how do you like the speakers on the Legion Go? I'm really behind the show. Mr. Dark had to go, BT Maverick, but he said that the overall build and he's satisfied with the overall build and quality of the product. But for you to really get an in-depth review, go to Retro Court or go to ETA
and I have a
Prime.
tip for him.
Go ahead.
I have a tip for him. The idea that whole thing, and I've learned this, so this is super good. This will be what we can end on, and I think even you'll learn something from this area, Mr. John Wolf. So,
what you got?
A lot of people complain about this screen versus that screen, this sound versus that sound. You don't have to deal with what's given. One of the things that sucks about the screen is it has very, very terrible black levels. Even if you turn the screen all the way down to off in the middle of the night when I'm lying next to my wife and I want to get in the game, it's like too bright, even when you turn it off.
Can I brag about something real fast? My OLED My OLED is the blacks are nice. Sorry, I had to, man. I had to. I've been
I have an OLED
for hours.
I have an OLED in the bedroom. I understand. So, for anybody, any device out there, handheld, it doesn't matter which one, even if it's this one, if your black levels aren't good enough, download an app called Dimmer, Dimmer. It dims the screen even more than the thing can do it. And to the point of the speakers, and this is the tip I want to give you for the speakers, is an app called FX Sound. It's open source. FX Sound. It makes any piece of crap speaker twice as good.
Nice.
Install it on the ROG Ally. You will not be disappointed. Even the ROG Ally, which is sound is great, sounds even better. Like it is like really, really good. So if you have, like, for example, the Legion Go, that the speakers fire up so they're muffled or they don't sound right, run it through FX Sound. It will be like night and day.
Nice. So, okay, we talked about a lot today. Let's throughout the week, let's work on putting some links up for the good folks for the gift ideas. Indeed. and reshade and all these things that we talked about. That way it's easier for the listeners to just click and kind of download these things. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Appreciate you. Yeah, no, we'll definitely do that. As time permits, I'll add the links to the show notes and all of that.
Are you gonna go play with your portable Xbox now after the show? What, man? I'm just asking a question.
My portable Xbox, believe it or not, is right over. Let me see if I can do it. Right over there.
Oh, nice. Is that a light strip on those Series S?
No, that on top. It's a light strip / extra fan, so it blows air out, and it also has lights on it as well. But yeah, I have my portable Xbox there, and underneath it is the X screen, which then makes it portable. That's the portable Xbox.
You want to see one more thing that I got to go with the whole OLED setup, and we'll end it here.
Yeah.
So, you know that we got a little device coming in a few weeks, the PlayStation Portal. Okay, I don't know. Did you cancel yours?
I did.
Okay, so I still got mine.
You know why I canceled mine? Because I played almost all of Spider-Man 2 on the Logitech G Cloud, and I'm just like, why the hell should I buy this thing?
You were satisfied. It was good. Yeah. Check this out. I got the Pro controller, the Edge.
Okay.
Got the Edge, and looking to play through Spider-Man through the holidays with it.
Okay.
You know, I
need the feedback. Yeah, I need the feedback. That's awesome. Cool. Okay.
You know,
let us know how the battery life is. I hear the battery life is horrible. I hope that's not the case.
I got the whole setup here, so I'm probably going to be wired either way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Understood. Okay, cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great show. We're around 2 hours today. But you know what? We're not going to let that hold us back. We're going to talk to y'all next week. There's going to be a lot more craziness, a lot more fun to talk about. Maybe we actually talk more games next week because there's a lot of games to play. And I'm hoping that by next time I'm back here, I will be telling y'all that I finished Starfield because I'm going to do that this week. I have to.
Well, my goal is, look, I'm off. I'm lucky enough to be off this whole week. So actually, I'm going to play through Alan Wake 1, Control, Quantum Break, and then finish it off with Alan Wake 2 on the weekend. I'm having an all game. I took the week off just to game, brother, on the new OLED. So I'm definitely running through those games.
So yeah, this week will be busy for all of us. For me, I'm taking Thursday and Friday off because Friday is my wedding anniversary, my 11th wedding anniversary. So yeah,
congratulations, sir.
Yeah, you know, we getting old. I'm gonna hang out with Mrs. Asante. We're gonna hang out and have some fun. You know, do some stuff. It's been
You know, you got to do the flowers. You know, you got to do the reservation.
Yeah, you know, the whole nine. Yes, indeed, indeed. We're gonna go to a nice spot around here and enjoy ourselves. But
good, man.
You'll probably see us again next week. You know, and we'll be here with more gaming goodness. Hopefully by then I will have manned up and played more of Alan Wake because man,
are you playing it in the dark?
It is some scary shit, bro.
Come on, man. I need you to play it in the dark with the Govee lights and a headset.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm playing it here, all lights off.
Okay.
I'm using my pro headset. The Govee's back there. It's just, but see, the problem with the Govee is the Govee reacts to light. And there's no light in this damn game, man. The whole game is OLED black.
Well, what's cool is like in Alan Wake 1, when I'm playing, because I'm playing through that now, when the flashlight, when he's flashing the
same
flashlight,
thing. Well,
okay. You know?
I won't tell you how a flashlight works in Alan Wake 2.
I can imagine.
But there are flashlights. So I'll just say
it's a staple of the franchise. I figured.
All right, man. And we will talk, and maybe next time I will share actual 4090 liquid cooled footage. I didn't want to spoil it for people.
I'm gonna have the game beat by next Monday. I'll have it beat for sure.
Okay. Well, my last pro tip on Alan Wake 2. If you're squeamish with human bodies, I suggest you pay attention. That you probably, you gotta, because
my type of game.
It gets gross, man. It gets gross. There's like old people stuff. Anyway, till next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, man. We can't end it there.
Have a good
one. Peace, guys.
Oh, and now of course I can't turn this thing on. See, it won't turn on. See, look at that. It won't turn on. It's not turning on. It's supposed to turn on, but it's not.
I see that. Are we back already? Hey guys,
yeah,
welcome
we're
to
not
the
done.
Next show, episode 19 of the Gamers Playground.
No. This thing is acting up. Hold on, it's acting up. I'm pretty sure it's because StreamYard is like not having a good day today. Let me try again. Yeah, well, put the outro on first if you can. Now I can't hear you. One minute.